Good morning, YouTube. Casual Tommy here, coming to you again with another video on my way to work. What did I want to get out of this video? I want to talk about my 2019 watch goals, my collection goals, where I want to see my collection by the end of the year. So look, let's get into it. I guess we should talk about what my approach, right? It's my approach to purchasing. I like to make calculated, meaningful purchases. I only like to make a few a year. This is something that I've learned over the decade of this hobby for me. But I'm trying these days, at least for the past 3 or 4 years, I've been trying to make calculated, meaningful purchases. So I go out and the lust will begin. Then I will start the research, and that's where the affair really takes off. I'll get into the specifics of so wristwatch check here. We've got our little Tissot Powermatic 80. That'll come up very shortly, I'd say. Yeah, look, calculated, meaningful purchases, that's really where it's at for me. I've learned over time that when I impulse buy, I end up unfulfilled every time. If I impulse buy a watch, that was the first probably 7 years of my collection, I was just buying whatever I would see. I would save up an amount of money first and then decide on what I want to buy. That's the wrong thing to do, in my opinion anyway. From my experience, that doesn't work out well for me. I always end up unfulfilled with impulse buys. So I've now gotten into the methodologies of actually going out and researching the purchase and then saving the money after to buy what I want. And that's where I'm at. What have I purchased so far in 2019? I always typically buy my watches early in the year. Don't know why, but that is definitely a trend I've noticed. What have I done so far? Well, I bought one of my grails. I bought my birth year Speedmaster Reduced, Omega Speedmaster Reduced birth year for my 30th birthday this year, which is coming up, which is quite exciting, actually. Absolutely very exciting. So I've ticked that off the list. So what's next? Well, my next big piece that I do really want is a nice two-tone Datejust fluted bezel. Just the classic Rolex. That's I think I want that to be my first Rolex. So I've been looking at them on the used market, and there are some available for good prices. You're only looking at about between $4,000 and $5,000 Australian for a decent one. Maybe late 90s, something like that. But I don't foresee that being a possibility this year, as this year is a wedding. I'm getting married in I think 8 weeks, and then we're going to have a honeymoon to pay for. I've just bought myself the Omega. It's not likely that I'm going to be splurging for an Omega and a Rolex in the same year. That would be quite irresponsible, and I don't want to put my poor wife through that. Soon to be wife through that. So I guess the next up for me is a daily replacement. So I've had this little Tissot Powermatic 80 for had it for 3 years now. It'll be 3 years now I've had this watch, and it's a beautiful daily wear for work. It fits under the cuff, it goes under the radar. A watch collector recognizes it, and we can spark a conversation, which has only happened once, maybe twice. It is an absolutely lovely piece, but I think I'm just getting sick of it now. It's probably the watch I wear the most out of all my watches. I do wear a variety of watches to work on a daily basis, but I tend to go to this one when I'm feeling uninspired. This watch is just my daily BAU. It is what it is. So I'm looking for a replacement for this. I'm considering Oris Big Crowns. They come up for a very nice price, and I think that would be a nice daily wear. I'm also looking at some of the Nomos. Beautiful pieces, a little bit more expensive than what I'm seeing the Big Crowns for, but I think that would be a really nice watch for work. I do work in a professional environment, so watches that fit under the cuff are quite appropriate for me. So yeah, I'm going to be looking for something, likely an Oris Big Crown. That's likely what I'm looking at. I'm currently bidding on a few, trying to get a sneaky bid through to see if I can get something, but we'll see how that goes. Now, something to tide me over for my Rolex, as you probably guessed, is a Tudor. I think I want to get Tudor. I bought a beautiful Oris diver maybe 2 years ago now, and I had in my hand a little vintage Tudor. It was a 70s vintage Tudor, and I had the Oris, and I went for the Oris in the end. It was a much better quality watch at that point, but it's left me wanting more. It's left me wanting a Tudor, wanting a Rolex. I really do. My goal is to get a Rolex, and I think a nice little Tudor day date. One of their, I think they're the Oyster Prints, I believe they are, or a vintage Tudor. I think that will help me help scratch the itch temporarily, and then I can use those funds, as long as I buy second hand, I can then use those funds to purchase a Rolex in 2019. I see 2020. I see 2020 as my year, the year of the Rolex for good old casual Tommy over here. So yeah, look, those are my goals this year. I'm trying to consolidate my collection. I've already sold 2 pieces so far. I sold a quartz Seiko that I bought 8-9 years ago now, for not much money at all. And I sold a G-Shock because I inherited a Fitbit from my fiance, which is good for my walking, and I have a golf watch. I have a Garmin S6 that I use for golf, GPS, touchscreen, overhead course map. So I wasn't getting any use out of my G-Shock, and the model I had was an impulse purchase that left me unfulfilled. It was not the G-Shock I wanted. I didn't do any research. It was an opportunistic impulse buy that left me unfulfilled. So that's my goals for this year, is to downsize my collection. I want to get rid of this. I have another Tissot PRC 200 that I want to get rid of, the orange and black version with the leather strap. That's unworn. I've still got the plastic on it. Another impulse buy that left me unfulfilled. I'm looking to get rid of that. Looking to get rid of this. And I'm still undecided what I'm going to do with my Steinhardt. I've got a Steinhardt that I'm using to travel the world with. I don't wear it in my home country of Australia. I only wear it overseas. My plan was to try to build some kind of travel relationship, right? Like my family overseas, my mistress overseas, that my other watchers, they want to go traveling with me, but they don't get the opportunity because I take that robust and lower price point Steinhardt for my traveling. So look, that's it for me. I want to know what your goals are. What's your approach to collecting, and what are you trying to get out of 2019 for your collection? Are you downsizing? Are you buying up? What are you actually trying to achieve in 2019 for your watches? So yeah, Casual Tommy here, talking about watches, and we'll see you in the next video. Catch you later.